For our morning match here at MLG, we're going to have Kiwikaki against Cruncher. The players are staying ready. We're going to just get one more confirmation, and we're going to do this. I think you can just go ahead and hit start. All right.
It's time.
So PvP, our first Protoss versus Protoss, we're going to cast here at MLG. Yeah. It's going to be pretty awesome. The countdown has started. We're going to pull up the game loading screen in just a second here. So get ready and see who's going to move on here at this MLG's PvP Cruncher against Kiwikaki.
Our first map will be Shakura's Plateau. And who's that, Tasteless?
It's CoLCruncher.
Yay!
Not LOLCruncher.
Of course, he is from Complexity Gaming, an old-school Counter-Strike team. They have a very nice Starcraft 2 roster at this point. I would say
they do.
Cruncher's the most famous. A lot of good tournament results and whatnot.
And down here in cross spots, we have Kiwikaki.
From ROOTGaming, one of the absolute best teams in the world, really. They have so many great players. Kiwikaki, definitely the ace of the team, but there's also great players like Drewby. There's Cats on that team. Just a really solid lineup overall.
Kiwikaki, I used to train with this guy during the beta. He is so solid. I don't think I've ever beaten him actually in PvP.
Oh, really?
No, serious.
Wow.
He kept doing, these warp gate rushes back when it was new. He's so solid.
He's got a lot of builds too, Tasteless. That's something that we have said over and over. He is the mad scientist of Protoss.
You really got to respect the guy who's got quite a toolkit. Yeah. You're one of these guys too, actually. You got so many different builds. It's just an important thing to have.
That's quite true, Tasteless. And it looks like we're going to have both players start their gateways quite quickly. And wait a minute, Kiwikaki, are you going to make a gateway? There he goes.
There he goes.
I was getting a little bit nervous there, Tasteless.
Kiwikaki, what are you doing?
You have to get your gateway. 13 is normally the latest you're going to get it, because even though 4-gate isn't the end-all of PvP, it's still quite powerful. And if you get your gateway too late, then that's going to come too fast.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a few other builds you can do here. A lot of PvP is sort of centered around attempting to get out of Tier 1 of the tech tree, attempting to, establish somewhat, I guess you could say a mid-game, a late game. It's a little bit tricky.
Quite true. Now, before this gets going too fast, Tasteless, I do want to tell everyone, guys, we've almost been trending the MLG on Twitter. Let's give that another try. Please, please, please go to Twitter. Make your account, follow MLG, Artosis, and call me Tasteless. And definitely go hashtag MLG. The more people that talk about it, the more people will learn about the MLG and be able to check this great tournament out.
It's a short, simple thing to do, but really, if you can do that, guys, and we're trying to promote esports, promote growth. This isn't just about the MLG. This is not just even about StarCraft 2. It's about esports and expanding the scene.
That's quite right, Tasteless. And, so many people have told us, you know what, you guys kept on bugging me. I tried out Twitter, and I love it. So go and give that a try. So we see here Kiwikaki getting a second gateway. A second gateway is also going up for Cruncher, both players taking both their gases. So it looks like they are just going to rush up to some Stalkers to prevent any 4-gate shenanigans. The 3-Stalker rush, where you chrono boost out 3 Stalkers ASAP, is actually a great way to stall out a 4-gate and get your tech going a lot quicker.
You're absolutely right, Artosis. These guys are far apart, but note, Protoss.
We just saw Hydra against Select.
Where distance does not matter.
No. In the early game, it matters not, Tasteless. Yeah. As soon as you get those warp gates, you can warp in your units anywhere you have a pylon. And the only time it really starts to matter is when Colossus comes out. When Colossus comes out, that's a slower unit. And nowadays, we're seeing some very interesting strategies because of that.
Colossus, the Reaver, that's really hard to get. In Protoss versus Protoss here. By the way, Artosis, on our next, break here, I'm going to change some settings, so
oh, yes,
you
that's
might
right.
do some driving. Yeah,
we switched
we're at a new station here, so
yep.
Just I apologize if the observing is a little bit bumpy.
You get day 9 settings. Just to ask you, does he have faster mouse or slower mouse?
He keeps mouse scroll on.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Well, Tasteless, he was not a professional StarCraft 1 observer, so
well, nor was I.
Yeah, you were. Be quiet.
Don't you stop. All right, Stalker versus Stalker. Red Stalker with the first hit. This will drive the blue Stalker out.
Just kind of scouting with that Stalker as Cruncher didn't plan to do any damage. If we look at the production tab, we do see that both players are getting Robos. Kiwikaki getting a 3rd gateway. That's going to make him a lot safer, whereas Cruncher is not, and that's going to give him a better economy overall. He can sneak in some more probes and stuff a little bit quicker. But, of course, that is it's a risk, man. I mean, if your opponent goes for a 4-gate, you might not be able to hold with those 2 gates.
You know, I've heard a lot about Cruncher. This is actually my first Cruncher cast.
Oh, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never casted Cruncher before. I've heard a lot of good things, though. I'm curious to see, you know, how he's going to do against Kiwikaki. Kiwikaki, I really got to hand to this guy. His builds are so good. If you're going to copy one player's builds and try to understand the game, Kiwikaki has such insight.
Yeah,
you got to respect it.
You know, it's a different insight, though. You know, he doesn't really look at the game like other people. He does.
He sees it in a different way.
He certainly does, and that's always very interesting. He's one of my favorite Protosses to actually watch and to cast because of that.
Well, the good thing about casting a Kiwikaki game is I know I'm going to have a good build. I can steal by the end of the cast, whether it works or not.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Now, Cruncher, because he only got those 2 warp gates, he did make the Immortal that we just saw at the ramp. Oh, there he is again. Kiwikaki just getting out his Observer and then an Immortal himself.
Over here in Kiwikaki's base, we also see an Immortal, 1 Sentry, 4 Stalkers, and 3 Zealots.
We also see Robotics Bay coming up, and tasteless. A Warp Prism for Kiwikaki. I love Warp Prism play.
Seeing Warp Prism play. This is the future of this matchup.
Oh, I'm getting chills, man. Yeah. This is actually so cool.
You know what most StarCraft players haven't caught on to is that you can actually just drop a few Zealots into a mineral line, and that's almost as good as, you know, it's almost like the modern StarCraft 2 Reaver drop, if you will. It doesn't blow up everything like with the probes or whatever, but it does enough damage that it changes where the workers are going to be. They have to relocate.
Quite true, tasteless.
Yeah.
Now, you know, one thing I love to see, well, Kiwikaki right now is getting his Warp Prism, an expansion for Cruncher. Cruncher, by the way, has pumped out another Immortal. Look at that, tasteless. 2 Immortals. This is not something that we see too often.
You rarely see that
but
in PvP.
It looks like Kiwikaki has done some similar play here. I mean, he's getting his Colossus after a few other robotics units. And Kiwikaki not expanding yet. The Warp Prism going over. And this is going to be very interesting. The Warp Prism, can he do some harassment and then maybe run up and kill the Nexus in the natural? I don't know. We're going to have to see.
Well,
tasteless.
I think Cruncher might be in trouble. This is to compare this to StarCraft 1, this is the moment where the Protoss, if you're in PvP, sends the Reaver in to the front, drops it in the back. The other guy went 2-gate, expand. Yeah. He doesn't have enough stuff to defend everywhere. We'll see, though. A lot of this depends on whether or not the Warp Prism is shot down.
Now, if we take a look right there, we do have the Colossus of Kiwikaki. He is getting some more Colossi as well. And I wonder when he's going to attack here, Tasteless. This is a very strange group of units.
I think it's almost now.
Look at that. There's a Stalker waiting for the Warp Prism. Cruncher is sitting on top of his ramp.
You know, this is a perfect example of a game where you're going to learn exactly, you know, how the matchup works based off it. Here we go.
We have an attack coming in, and he waited for Thermal Lance so that he can start microing with that Colossus, something Kiwikaki loves to do, loves to poke with his Colossus, which has range quicker than Cruncher's because Cruncher got that fast expansion.
That is some beautiful micro right there.
It truly is, Tasteless. Just softening everything up. This is a very stressful moment for Cruncher. His Thermal Lance is not even half done at this point. So he's going to really have to use all his Chrono Boost to get out some extra units and survive.
He's got about 2 more minutes of hell here.
Yeah,
and every hit that occurs here is going to soften up the blue Protoss' army, Cruncher's army.
This is some really stellar micro from Kiwikaki. During this, he has added another gate. He is just Chrono Boosting out Colossi, so it looks like he is going to go pretty much all in on one base here. Just really wants to kill Cruncher because he realizes, hey, you have an expansion. I need to get something done. And oh my god, taking some hits from the Immortals there. Kiwikaki has to be very, very careful. And right now his Warp Prism is going to go in, Tasteless.
Here we go.
And dropping off some Zealots. But at the natural, we do see the force fields going up. And Cruncher doing a great job holding thus far. The Zealots hitting there. And if we look back at the natural, look at this. Cruncher pushing through. He does have 3 Colossus. And Kiwikaki is in so much trouble, Tasteless.
This is beautiful by Cruncher. Not an easy scenario to make it through. He's taken out the Stalkers. But look, right now, as long as Cruncher stays alive for a little bit, the game is going to end with him being victorious.
Oh,
Kiwikaki,
absolutely.
his build is good. You can see the intelligence in it. But look, it has no longevity.
No, it does not taste this exactly. That is why we call it a one base build like this an all-in, and it looks like he is kind of going for it. The supplies are a little bit more even, yet Cruncher has a lot of damage colossi. He really needs to just spread those out, Tasteless, and he should be fine. But he has to spread them.
Exactly. Both these colossi taking some heavy damage here. He will use his zealots to tank this. If Kiwikaki doesn't get in there and do some heavy damage. Oh, nice. Takes out a Colossus.
Snipes one, but Kiwikaki taking so much damage on his colossi. Cruncher just keeps on pumping them out. You know, I don't know if Kiwikaki can actually end up winning this Tasteless. It's getting lopsided. It's 79 supply to 66. What do you think?
Oh, I see Kiwikaki probably punching out GG in a little bit here. Unless he pulls through with a miracle, which I would love to see. But at this point in time, I mean, how are you going to break this? You know, the blue Protoss Cruncher has the high ground advantage.
Yeah.
Kiwikaki, you know, while both sides have softened up Colossi, he doesn't have an expansion. He should be having an expansion over here. So
exactly.
It's a tough situation.
And you know, the thing is, they have similar production facilities. Only 3 gates for Cruncher, but 4 for Kiwikaki. Wait a second, here we go. Kiwikaki going for it, trying to snipe some Colossi. A very important thing to do. Does not manage to get that one, and in the meantime loses all of his ground units except one Stalker. Uh-oh, it looks like we may be seeing GG momentarily. Those Stalkers can chase these down, and that is exactly what they're doing. We should be seeing GG
Look
in
at
just a
Cruncher
second.
here, wrecking Kiwikaki, punishing him for doing, you know, a short-sighted build, one where it was supposed to end the game. Cruncher saying, no, I want to go into the late game. Beautiful. And I think with the death of this Colossi, yep, there it is. GG.
Wow, that is,
wow.
I have to say, that is a little bit of an upset, Tasteless.
Yeah, it really is. Go ahead and fill some time for a second. I need to change the settings on
Sure,
this because
no
the observing's a little bit bumpy.
You know, to see Cruncher grow as a player like this, it's really quite interesting. You know, he was a extremely cheesy player for a very long time, but nowadays he's transitioned into some very strong macro builds. We've seen him take 2 to 3 bases in every PvZ. He gets like a really sick unit composition goes. Here we just saw him defeat one of the best PvP players, one of the best Protoss players in the world, Kiwikaki. I mean, this guy has a list of accomplishments taller than Tasteless.
And I'm a tall guy.
You are a tall guy, man.
You know what's so funny? Whenever we're at these events, we've been hearing this for years, but we're always told we're taller than we look on TV when people meet us.
Which is weird.
It's weird.
Because I think we look tall, don't we?
I think we look our height.
We're like 6'1"?
Yeah, we're both 6'1".
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 6'1.5".
Can we end this?
Can we end this?
Can we end this when we go to events? Can you just be like, you look like you look.
You look like
TV.
you look.
You look like you
you're
look
much,
on TV.
or you're much handsomer in real life.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
And you're, not to insult you, you're very handsome online as well.
We're are we gonna make this game in a second here, or
Yep.
what are we waiting on? Okay. My
we
settings
will be
should
getting
be
an
good.
invite in a second.
We're actually at the secondary casting
Yeah.
station over here. So, okay, Kiwikaki has started the game, so we're gonna be in this in a second. I had to change the settings here to make sure that everything was smooth. Was it my own settings?
So we're going to go ahead and take a real quick commercial. It's going to be very fast. Do not go
Don't go
anywhere.
away.
There's no time for toast or tea. Just sit right there.
We'll be back soon.